What's up, gays, straights, and other things? It's Valiant back with another episode of Lady in Mystery, and we are here with Sayon at the post-show, which means we're practically all here together, except for Kong Yurin, but, you know, what else is new? I'm so happy we're all here together. Anyway, let's just get back onto it, because I missed Sayon so much. What? Damo. Hide. You should hide for now. Oh shit, that's right, Ilshime. Oh no! Where am I supposed to hide in this tiny place? Where Juhi hid? Behind the screen, coward! I grabbed the back of Ilshime's neck and pushed her behind the folding screen. I knew it. Like Juhi did before, Ilshime freaked out by dust and bugs, but there was nowhere else for her to hide. So it sucks to suck. What is it? As I hectically opened the door, Sayon, who was standing there alone, looked at me with a surprised face. Damo! 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 How are you panting like that inside your house? We played the stone game. What? We played the stone game with the three of us in a long time like we used to when we were little. What's the stone game? Wusung suddenly... What? Wusung suddenly threw an inkstone to the ground. Sayon's eyes got bigger. I see. That's a very costly stone game. I didn't do it. Juhi thought they were embarrassing her in front of Sayon, so she covered her face with her hands and turned around. Aw, my girls. But Sayon didn't really seem to care much. Yeah, she's probably like, okay, these idiots. She just unfolded some paper on the table calmly as usual. Could you hold playing the game for a minute and do me a favor? What favor? It's about Ilshime. Sure, what? When she said Ilshime, my heart sank down. But it's true that I helped Wusung chasing down Ilshime for several times before, so I couldn't refuse to help him out, and who can refuse to that precious face? Look at her precious face! It's been, what, 2 episodes since you've seen me cooing over Sayon? Come on, this is nothing new. But what does Sayon wants to talk about now about Ilshime? Ilshime? Why? Did something happen? You know we've been chasing down Ilshime for a while. But then, strangely, Ilshime hasn't shown up for the last few days. Maybe they retired. Sayon looked at me with decent eyes. What the fuck does that mean? Her eyes are gorgeous. What are you talking about? Ilshime hasn't shown up for a few days. I guess that was the time when her family tried to get Garyan married. Ilshime was conscious about that too, so she tried getting out of the house somehow, but it failed since she got caught by me. Yep. But it's only a few days. It's just too minor to care, but she noticed something from it? I was really surprised by Sayon's hunch secretly. Well, she's very smart, Hisu. She must have told Poshung about her thoughts as well. But since she came here alone, I guess they didn't really support her thought, which is good, at least. Yeah, but also bad for her workplace. Oh, my sweet girl. I think Ilshime got into trouble big enough to deter him from showing up. I was thinking what that could be, but I couldn't figure it out by myself. That's why I came here. Oh, I want to help you so much, baby. I wanted to hear your opinion. I edited the map too. The map Sayon first made last time became more detailed and specific. It was so specific that I got worried she might actually figure out where Ilshime lives. I guess they didn't really take it that seriously at the post-shung, huh? Bummer, please stop asking questions. Oh, my sweet girl. Please, I want to give her all the snuggles, all the hugs, please. Oh. Yes, but I thought you would understand, so I came here. I do, I'm sorry. When I listened to her voice, I felt really bad. I would help her if it was a normal situation, but for now, I have a lot of things to do with Ilshime. And even if Ilshime wasn't helping me now, I didn't want her to get caught by the potion. Really. So, the problem is that Ilshime hasn't been seen for the last few days. While I was licking my dry lips, I heard a cracking sound from the back. Shut up back there! It was Wusung getting anxious and stamping on his feet. Oh, I thought that was Ilshime. Well, no, still, shut up, Wusung, stop! He said he didn't like Ilshime, but he was worried that there might be a setback to our plan for revenge. Yes, no policeman has seen him for a while, so I'm sure he hasn't been robbing or stealing. But don't you think there might be other witnesses other than policemen? We've got no report at all. And even though there might be another witness somewhere else, I thought it was still a little odd that no policeman has ever seen him for several days. Maybe you're overthinking. If there's a whole bunch of witnesses somewhere else where Upo-shung couldn't reach, then... I was trying so hard to change the course of an investigation when Wusung suddenly interrupted. Wait, don't shove my baby! Don't do that! I saw him at night. Oh my god. You are an idiot. You are an idiot! What? Huh? What is he talking about? I think I saw him at night. He was running on the roof. No one is going to believe you. It was 2 days ago. I definitely saw him. You're so full of shit. I felt like I was at a loss for a second. He just focused on the part that she was looking for Iljime because there was no witness and then just decided to be a witness himself. Ugh. He's trying to lie to Damo from Uboshung. Where exactly did you see? Yeah, it's not gonna work, buddy. What color of clothes was he wearing? Was it colored clothes? Was he wearing a mask? Sayon asked ceaselessly. Oh. I tried to think hard in my head to straighten out what the fuck she just said. She asked what color of clothes he was wearing, which means he wasn't just wearing only black clothes lately. And the mask is... He was wearing white clothes and flying off without a mask. But then even before I thought in my head and gave him the right answer, Wusung kept answering on his own. Oh my god, shut the fuck up. Without a mask? Yes. Then did you see him close enough to see if he was wearing a mask or not? I think so. Why? Is that weird? Yes! Yes! Everything about your answer is weird! No, it's not that weird. It's... Sayon's eyes shook really big once. It's great. What? Really? None of the policemen ever saw Iljime's face. I think some people other than the policemen have seen his face, but they don't cooperate with us to defend this so-called righteous thief. They even protested not to catch Iljime to us, so I couldn't make even one wanted poster. But... As Sayon paused, we all felt the same ominous feeling. Now I can make a wanted poster. Oh, my sweet girl, I'm sorry. No. Wusung, why do you have to have a mouth? Thank you so much, sir. What? Please, come with me to the Poshung and help me draw the picture for the wanted poster for just a few hours. I'll call the painter and you can help him draw Iljime's face next to him. Oh no. Oh no. Then Wusung realized something was going wrong and became pale. He tried to mumble and change his words. Just a few hours? Actually, I need more time to fully remember. I don't think 1 day is enough. I don't think so. It might take 3 to 4 days. Is that the excuse he thought of? Then you can stay at the residence in our Poshung for about 5 days. I'll make sure you're provided with the food and accommodation. Wusung looked back at me now. No. You did this to yourself. You dig yourself out of it. It would have been better if you looked at me earlier. What's the point of looking at me now? Why don't you just look at me after 70 years, huh? Damn, Isu. I scoffed out of frustration and hid him behind me. No, he can't stay there for 5 days. Why not? He has too much work to do now. He's busy doing some work in the store. But don't you usually take care of most things in the store? I don't like lying to you. I'm sorry. Is that right? Then, at the tavern. I know that Makwa is doing most of the chores at the tavern. Can I ask what is Mr. Wusung doing as a Yongban? Oh, that's, fuck. I got stuck and felt dizzy this time. Alright. You have to take care of our precious little sister, Juhi. She's not gonna go along with that. Juhi looks mature, but she can't eat alone and she can't wear socks alone. She cries out loud unless we both get one leg each and puts... She cries out loud unless we both get one leg each and put each sock on her feet. And we have to bring her water bowl to wash her face, sing lullaby before bed, rub her cheeks and finger, and tap her back. What? What the fuck? Juhi got blushed and tried to protest, but Wusung quickly pushed Juhi down. Look now! She's cutting out the scream. What is happening? She's letting out this scream of joy, burying in her brother's arm. What else are we going to do since we have this family struggle? Sayon's face then became serious. Juhi was panting with anger, but then started to get calm since that strategy was actually working. She shook Wusung off aggressively, thinking she would sacrifice for a greater cause. After a long while, Sayon looked up in a very serious way. Then you should come to our residence with us, Lady Juhi. Huh? I'll do all the things you need. I said it like ages ago, and I don't think anyone remembers at this point, but I'll remind you, these two would be such a cute couple. When they're not my love interest, they're such a cute fucking couple. Like, oh my goodness, they'd be so cute together. Is that going to be okay then? No, not for anyone involved. What? Wait, you have to hear this. Fucking... Please. Oh, the screen went black. There's a string orchestra. Oh, what? Wait, what? Wait! Why is the screen white? Why is the cello going insane? What? What just happened? Why did that happen? You will? Wait! Wait! Juhi, you want this. Wait. If we pursue LGBT, does that mean... Are Juhi and Sayon gonna get together? Aww, it's gonna be so cute! Oh, please let that be what's happening right now, because that's so good. Let's go right now. If this isn't the right time to help Wusung, then what is? We should help each other. Hey, brother, go get your clothes. Hurry. Juhi put her hands on the table, tied her hair ribbon on the wrist, and tried to tie a pocket on her head with a befuddled face. I love it. Aw, yay. Wait, this counts as gay panic, and it's not me for once. Juhi had a moment of gay panic. It's so cute. Ah, I'm so happy. No. You can't take Wusung now. Forget it. Talk to you later. I mean, honestly, if it was Yurin giving me the same offer, I can't blame Juhi. Same. Juhi waved her hands as if she's shaking off flies and went out of Jung Yonghos. That was so much. Goodness, I thought she only interrupts me when I'm doing my job as a righteous thief, but she's just actively interrupting everything I do. What was that Damo's name again? Sayon. Sayon, and if you hurt her, I will punch you. Sayon. She's smart. In fact, my servant girl told me the other day that there's someone in Wusung who has a great hunch and wanted me to take care of whoever that is. Don't you dare! Ilshime tapped the spot Sayon was sitting with the tip of her peeled off sheath. Really? Then why did you just let it slide? Let it slide? I already taught them a lesson. To Sayon? What did you do? Without me knowing. When? It just sounded so absurd that I couldn't even blink for a while. Then Ilshime laughed as if I was being ridiculous and slowly pressed my forehead. Okay. I meant you. Huh? Ilshime took her hand away and crossed her arms. I thought you were the cause of all the problems, so I thought everything would be fine if I just take care of you. I've waited for half of the day under the Heejong Bridge to catch you. Is that what happened? Jeez, clingy much? Now that I think about it, that Dama was quite a trouble too. Yeah, she is, but don't hurt her. Then you're gonna cover her mouth and blackmail her too? If you do, I will hurt you. When I asked as a joke, Ilshime clicked her tongue and put her face closer to me. No, it's the right thing for a Dama from Poshung to chase me diligently like that. Well, that's good. What? Then what about me? You're not a policeman or a soldier. You have nothing to do with me at all, but you just chased me for money, which is so reprehensible. I was wondering what kind of idiot you were. Ilshime smiled lightly, leaning against a small table. She overlapped her fingers and looked up, and her red-brown eyes were looking at me. I didn't know that we were going to be friends either. Okay, fine. For a moment, my heart sank down. When she started to call us friends, I got too distracted and just let her do it, but now it felt strange to me to talk with her normal like this, wait for her and to feel comfortable around her. I remember avoiding her because I didn't like her. How did this happen? It really is weird. I keep forgetting that you are Ilshime. Ilshime who loves the right thing, fabulous things, and the most famous person in Hanyang. Her personality's too different from mine to become a team, and being involved with me isn't going to help her with her reputation. While I was giving a sigh, Ilshime asked me quite aggressively, "What about it?" Are you really going to be okay to help me? Huh? What do you mean? Why are you taking my side like nothing? Then why did you come running to Songdon storage the other day without a word? You were so out of breath. Okay, I know we're having a 40 moment here, kind of, but that was purely for Yurin and you know it. That's because I was worried. And I knew you would do something stupid. As I slurred the end of my sentence and lowered my head, Ilshime answered right away without hesitation. So am I. Is that enough of an answer? Alright. She looked affectionate as she smiled friendly like a family, pressing down her clothes, but somehow, I couldn't look up at her. I had enough excuses for being a coward in my life, and I was so generous to myself to cover my wound. I'd forgotten about this feeling of embarrassment a long time ago. And you did the right thing. Huh? But maybe I won't. I'm not like you. I may make the wrong choice. I don't think so. You've come up with that conclusion all your life. How can it be wrong? I'll help you with whatever decision you make. I realized that I couldn't even blink for a while. As I loosened my fists that I was holding tight out of anxiety and loosened my fingers like some straws, Iljime grabbed my hand. I told you we're friends. I'm on your side. Aw. The next morning I walked through the morning air and came to Jung Yonghos. I couldn't really sleep much last night. I was unlocking the door of Jung Yonghos smelled like a dead tree since it was wet with early morning dew, and the raffles in the store looked grayish. I pulled the chair and sat on the spot I always sit, but it was so strange sleeping alone and coming to the store alone. Oh, that's right, I'm by myself. I wonder if Iljime went back home safely. I regretted sending her back alone in the dark night. I took off my gat and everything to go to bed last night, but I ended up repeating going out to the yard and coming back in since I was worried. She moves around at night anyway in the first place. She would make fun of me if she finds out I was doing that. Iljime said she would come to Jung Yonghos again in the afternoon. I have to wait for alone until then. When I was thinking that, I heard someone knocking on the door from outside. Hello? When I carefully approached the locked door, I could hear Iljime's voice. Are you inside? How? When I quickly unbarred the gate and opened it, Iljime, who didn't even tie her hair properly, rushed inside. Oh, hello. Why are you in the store already? We were supposed to meet at noon. Because no one was in the tavern anyway. But what were you going to do if I wasn't here early? How come you just came like that? What were you going to do if the door was locked? What do you think? I can easily pick that shabby lock on your store with a piece of metal. I was going to wait for you inside alone. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Iljime was getting under my skin, spinning a substitute stick for the lock. But I wasn't annoyed and I only focused on her arm. There was a big stitch mark on her left sleeve. It wasn't there yesterday. I got surprised and looked up. Iljime was just looking at me, pretending not to know anything. Wait, are you okay? You didn't go straight to your home last night? No, I went straight to home. Why? She didn't sound like she was lying. Then, why did you hurt your arm? What? Why do you think I hurt my arm? When I pointed at her arm with my chin, Iljime got flustered and rubbed the stitch mark. It was too poorly done to think that it was done by her servant. So I knew it was definitely done by Iljime herself. Oh, you mean this? The seam just opened, so I sewed it myself. It doesn't look that good since I did it myself, does it? I'm not really good at sewing. That's a lie. When I see your sleeve on this side, I can see that the thread went in from the left. I don't think you sew with your left hand. Why did the thread go in from the left side when you sewed it with your right hand? Huh? It's because you sewed it in with the clothes on, and that's why the direction of the thread became the opposite. Why did you have to sew with these clothes on? Just tell me what happened. Because you got cut on your left arm, it must have been uncomfortable for you to pull the clothes straight. So you had to sew these clothes on in the middle of the night. If you had taken that clothes off and sewed with your right hand as usual, the thread would have been in from the right side, right? You got hurt. Gosh, why can't you just be fooled for once, huh? Because I care about you, you dumbass. What is it? Why did you get hurt when you went straight home? Did something happen on the way? Well... Iljime hesitated for a while and then started to confess with a sigh. I was going home and then suddenly some crazy bastard came at me and wielded his sword several times. He was wearing a black mask darker than mine and covered the whole face. What? But how did he know who you were? That's what I'm saying. He was too swift for just a drunk guy, but it didn't make sense to think that he was specifically after me, because it happened around your store. I just thought that I was unlucky, but you know, someone was after Iljime last night. Do you think it's someone who's holding a grudge against you? There are too many people holding a grudge against me. With her words, I thought of all kinds of faces in my head. Yongbans are corrupt government officials and some vicious merchants who got robbed by her. Someone who might hate Iljime. Like she said, there are too many of them. Anyway, when I thought about it at home, I think maybe he wasn't specifically after me. And your neighborhood didn't seem to be safe, so I decided to come a little early. So I came here now. Well, Poshung's really close here, so usually there's not even a drunk person on the street, let alone an assailant. That's weird. It's hard to be a coincidence. Iljime must have been walking in the shade with a mask on. Who would accidentally come at her and wield a sword? If he did, then it's not a random guy who coincidentally picked a fight on her, but an assailant trying to make it look like a coincidence. And the street Iljime was walking last night happened to be Hijong Bridge Street, where there's Junghuso. It is not the road Iljime usually uses. If he was after Iljime, then he should have waited for her in Iljime's area of activity. It doesn't make sense to think that the assailant was specifically after you. If that guy knows who you are, then why was he waiting for you near my tavern? You wouldn't have come to that place and wouldn't have walked out on the street if I didn't ask you to come. Yeah, that's why I think they might have been after you, Hisu. But I don't know. Sense of incompatibility. For a moment, this unfamiliar sense of incompatibility filled the air. But Iljime just curled up some strands of hair that went down to her neck and smiled indifferently. So it was more likely to be a coincidental brawl, right? But being an Iljime isn't an ordinary thing to do in the first place. I've had a lot of weird incidents like that quite often. Don't worry about it. Don't think too much over nothing. That's why I didn't tell you anything. Iljime put the map down on the table loudly as if she was trying to stop me. It was a pictorial map with an alley to the Translation Academy, the walls around that area, byways, mountain roads, stores, and the number of houses on it. Stop worrying about nothing. Let's get started working on this. We have a long day today since we met early. Wait, what are we working on? What? Okay. The Translation Academy seemed really busy from the early morning. All the gates were wide open and servants and guests were coming in and out endlessly. It was no different from the marketplace on Unchong Street or some unauthorized marketplace. What is it? Is something going on today? I don't know. We pushed through the crowd and went inside the Translation Academy. Iljime was pretending to be my servant next to me, but she was slower at talking and moving than usual. The noble lady Iljime was not good at crowded places at all. I pulled Iljime's sleeve and hid her behind me, folding my hands behind my back. Come over here. We called someone to greet us after we got inside, but no one came to greet us. We quietly looked around at how things were going in the Translation Academy for a while. The piles of papers, servants carrying boxes of books and rolls, errand boys ceaselessly coming in and out behind them, and translators whispering to each other. The Translation Academy seemed terribly busy. Iljime was so impressed by all this next to me. Isn't Translation Academy supposed to be an educational institution for translators? What kind of education is this uproarious? Let me think. Just be quiet for a second. Oh, come on. I was looking at the translators and instructors pouring out from inside and raised my hand. Excuse me, let me ask you something. I grabbed some young-ish lecturer from the Translation Academy. The lecturer, who was hurriedly walking somewhere without holding anything, got surprised to see us and blinked his eyes. Who are you? If you want to pass along a message, you should talk to the instructor then. No, that's not what we're here for. I'm sorry to come in a busy time, but we're looking for a person here. I received a great benefit from Professor Kim Pil-jo. Please help me find him. The lecturer's face got softened a little when he heard the title Professor. It's because we might be talking about his superior. But the name I told him was the name of a former professor who retired already because of his old age. I purposely picked a name from Official Gazette that would be a little familiar to old people and altruistic to young people. The lecturer thought for a little while and tilted his head. I don't know of any professor with that name here. I think maybe he's retired. If Mr. Kim Pil-jo left Hanyang and moved to another place, then it's going to be hard to find him here. Then is there any professor named Jung Yonghos? Mr. Kim Pil-jo said if we can't find him right away, then we should ask that professor about him. I went around the bush before I mentioned Jung Yonghos' name. The lecturer looked at me for a while and then frowned his eyebrows awkwardly. Professor Jung? Since Jung Yonghos is currently working here, he should have shown us a different reaction, but his reaction was aloof. He was being even more awkward than when I asked him about the retired professor. I think today Professor Jung is... well, I don't know. Hey, you there. Have you seen Professor Jung? The lecturer asked his servant who was hurriedly walking to somewhere with a pile of papers. He looked back with a face that doesn't seem happy to be bothered in this busy time and shook his head. I don't know. No one knows where he is anyway. Gee, I see. You can go now. Hey you, Instructor Park. Has Professor Jung come to this morning? Who? By the way, do you know what year this is? Gosh, I have to fix these documents. It's the 51st year of Emperor Qing Long. I definitely said that wrong. And I asked you about Professor Jung Yonghos. Has he come here today or not? What? Jung Yonghos? Oh, Professor Jung. Well, I don't really know. You don't know? You never saw Professor Jung? The lecturer balkingly asked a few more people, but no one knew where he was. That's odd. Isn't Jung Yonghos a professor here? When I see it now, not even people in this Translation Academy know much about him. He must have been a complete lone wolf, or... While I was lost in thoughts, someone passed me by and bumped me with a shoulder. As I got pushed away hard, Iljime reached her arm and grabbed me. Gah! What a rude prick. Are you okay? Huh? Yes. You were the one that grabbed me. My eyes were fixed on the back of the guy who was just bumped me. He was carrying a box full of all sorts of things. In the box were some books that looked like poems. It looked like a collection they edited and collected by themselves in this translation academy, rather than some famous books that are mass-produced. What is keeping them so busy? Hey, lecturer, what are they doing here now? We have some business going here. Well, I should get going too. Okay, bye. The lecturer kept it as a secret and tried to leave quickly. I hurriedly grabbed, oh, apparently we care. Wait. Yes? Can you tell me his home address? Let me visit him myself and ask. I just feel bad to keep asking you about him when you're all clearly so busy. I don't know if I can... I'm just asking because you look really busy here. I really want to repay his kindness, so please tell me where he lives. Alright, hold on a second. After a while, the lecturer gave me a piece of paper with the address on it and disappeared to the other side as if he was running away. Ooh, I might have just put his life in danger. Whoops! I was gonna grab a few more people and ask more questions, but they were all too busy and just waved their hands. In the end, I had to get out of the translation academy with only a piece of paper that has Jung Yonghos' address on it. Supposedly. I don't know if it's gonna be that easy. I came to senses after we got into a distance alley through the shade. I stood aside with Iljime and kept looking at Jung Yonghos' address. I think he's living on the outskirts of Western Village. We didn't really get anything useful. We got his address as we planned, but I don't know what's all the fuss in that translation academy there. The delegates from Qing are coming. Translation Academy must be in charge of something. What? The person who passed by asked what year this is. Do you remember? I guess I remember. Then the lecturer said it was the 51st year of Emperor Qing Long. He was using Qing's era name. All the educated people and chosen from the king to Yangban are using the last era name of Ming, the year of Emperor Shangzhen. But why did they suddenly use Qing's era name to each other? I don't know. Those are a lot of names that I couldn't say. I see. Is someone from Qing coming? Yeah, that's basically what I just said. An official from Qing is visiting, and they would have to use Qing's era name on official documents when a delegate from Qing is visiting. Right, we made a promise after losing the war to them that we were going to use their era name. But no one really uses Qing's era name, you know? They all use Ming's. Most of the writings published this year has the third year of red horses after Emperor Shangzhen after the fall of Ming, so they have to gather all the documents and change the date to the year of Emperor Qinglong. That's why they're really busy and moving things so much. Especially the writings from private individuals are going to be messier about the date. But that's weird. Why would they collect the writings from private individuals? What does that have to do with delegates from Qing? Translation Academy is in charge of translation, so they have to write down something to show the delegates, such as congratulatory messages of poems. So they are collecting all the writings everywhere for the source of their writing. They must be in charge of writing a lot of different kinds of writings for them. It's impressive that you found out about all that, but we still don't know anything about Jung Yonghos. What do we do now? That's not true. I found something about Jung Yonghos. About Jung Yonghos as well? I found out, we have a choice. Okay, I really don't know which one of these this would be, but maybe his work experience, because no one seems to have heard of him that much. It hasn't been that long since he's been working here. Why? Because not many people know about him? That can be the reason as well, but when the lecturer who's in the lower position than Jung Yonghos referred to him, he just mentioned his title, but he never uses the honorific expression. He even used an extremely honorific expression to refer to a professor he's never heard of before. Why would that be? He even used an honorific expression to a professor he doesn't really know, but he calls his current supervisor only by his title. Wait, did I get this right? Wow. It must be that the lecturer who's been working there for long doesn't really admit him as a professor. About his expertise, there's a high chance that he recently moved to this department. That's great. It would be better for us if there's no one who's known him for that long. Jung Yonghos must have lived ruthlessly with that cruel and harsh personality. No one would have dared to stop him, and he would have only had to bow down to some powerful old men from distinguished families. All his minor traces he left would have been from his arrogance, because anyone weaker than him would have died already before they could even hate him. So he had nothing to be afraid of and nothing to protect. But that's only when Jung Yonghos had nothing to lose. 5 years had already passed when I was just waiting. Time and success must have left him some weak spots. You said that, right? That it's much better to steal his life? I did. It's still noon. Shall we go to Jung Yonghos' house? Ah, yay, gay crime! We should go see how his family's doing when he's out for work. Yay! This is the ultimate be gay do crimes, I love it. Iljime knows the way around Western Village well since she's living here. Iljime led the way to some alleys for a while and then tilted her head at a point. That's weird. I think it's too much of a rule for a professor of Translation Academy to live. Oh, well, he told us Jung Yonghos lives in the outskirts when he gave us the address. Yes, but I didn't know it would have been this far. Iljime was walking with the address on her hand, and then she stopped with an exclamation. I could see the gate of Jung Yonghos' house on the street. There's a big and neat tile-roofed house located a little further from the other houses. Is that the house? Then the gate opened and someone was about to come out. I quickly hid behind the tree with Iljime. One servant came out and poured the dirty water down the waterway in front of the house. I think I saw the shadow of a person through a chink of an open door. I tried so hard to look at the person, opening my eyes wide, and then suddenly Iljime quietly let out an exclamation. There! I see his wife! When I looked back, Iljime was on the tree alone. I guess she could see over the wall since she was slowly moving her eyes. And finally, I could see a woman through a chink of an open door. Found her. A haggard young lady in fancy clothes. Her appearance reminded me of a ghost, and she looked too young to be his wife. Given the way she tied up her hair, she must be a noble lady. A young noble lady married to a plebeian translator, which means she must be from a fallen family that is worse off than average people. Then I could hear the baby crying over the wall. The woman was in a state of deep anxiety, holding a baby alone. I captured her appearance with my eyes in that short moment, and the gate was closed. Okay, cool. It's enough. I will never forget it until the day I die. Jesus, Hisu, okay. Suddenly, my heart started to beat anxiously. What do I want to do with him? Spying on his family like that? My childhood memories in the senior Abusa police started to get mixed and came across my mind. What's with your face? What's with your face? Iljime asked, jumping down in front of me, but I couldn't answer right away. You said you would help me with anything since we're friends, right? Right. I think of you as my friend too now. Don't make me regret it. So, don't me, okay? After all the shit I've done for you, maybe go against my wife. You can step out of it anytime. As soon as I finished the sentence, the chirping sound of cicadas got louder. Iljime stayed silent under the shade of the tree for a long while. I thought maybe she was upset, but Iljime was actually calmer now. You're scared now. Fuck you. Am I? I got scared about one thing too as soon as I heard the baby crying, but mine is a little different. All I was worried about was that you might get hurt. Iljime tilted her head and smiled as if she was soothing me. It's not working. Revenge is a negative thing no matter what. You've already gotten hurt really deep when you lost your parents 5 years ago. But you were fine enough to recover, and that's why you were still living like this now. You got to meet such a good friend like me. Don't you think so? What is that? I felt enervated, but I almost felt like crying looking at her face, smiling and making a joke. Having revenge means that you are going to scratch your life that you barely managed to recover again by yourself. You have to keep it up more than you think to deal with it. The wind blew behind Guardian. Fallen leaves in the shade started to fly up, tangled with sand cloud, and the sun was going down. Okay. Cool. Operation Stakeout, success. Well, part 1, I guess, because we're back at the academy, apparently. The Translation Academy became a lot quieter when we came back again at night. But since it's busy season anyway, there seemed to be a few people that are still working. I could see some rooms with the lights still on. We jumped over the wall without permission and were walking slowly. There were too many people here anyway, so even if we run into someone, I don't think anyone would find us suspicious. The office. Where's the office? Let me see. I can tell that this is obviously not a properly built government building. They just tore down the corner of the main building and made this building here. So any room that is usable might be somewhere on the east side. There's going to be an easier way to find it. Find the room with the lock. Why? Usually they don't lock the room in the government building because the servants have to clean. But Jung Yonghos is not in charge of Translation Academy's business, and he doesn't let people into his office when he's not there. As I said that, I could see one door with a lock on it and the other side. Iljime shook her head and pushed my back. Wow, that's amazing. I used to hate your petty tricks when you used them to trace me. Why is that a petty trick? I'm just smart. Big brain. Big, huge brain. Goodness, this is a government building, and yet they use this cheap lock like that of Junghuso. I can easily pick it by pocking it a couple of times with my needle. What the fuck is pocking? Iljime went to the lock with confidence and picked the lock by pushing it in an angular, thin metal piece. As soon as she opened the door, a whiff of old resin and dusty books greeted us. I took a deep breath and went inside. So, this is Jung Yonghos' office. Yup. We're finally inside his head. It took 5 years for me to get here. And then all the secrets of Jung Yonghos for the last 5 years are here. I went inside with big steps and lit the light on the lamp. All the objects in the room showed up, swaying. He put locks and latches on every drawer. Well, duh. He was quite a neat freak. But all that defense was useless with Iljime. Iljime picked all the locks and latches with just a metal rod. She could even lock them again with that metal rod. As we opened the innermost drawer, there were some letters that he exchanged with someone and some documents. One word attracted my attention. Transfer. Move the department. Isn't this document about transference? I think he received an order to move to another department. He must have had a minor dispute with some high officials, and they wouldn't want Jung Yonghos to stay in one place for too long and become too powerful. He was at a military camp before, and now he's at a translation academy. Where is he going to go next? And there was Jung Yonghos' reply at the end. I want to work as a translator now. A professor is a Che-A position, but it's a quite high-rank position. It's not even losing out to fourth-rank government officials. He used to pick up the pieces for higher-ups, and now he's trying to stand up on his own feet. Is he trying to stand against his masters who have been feeding him? Then his chances, the reception of the Qing delegates. He's trying to make a contribution here and escaping from their grasp. And there must be something in this room related to that. I started to feel anxious, but I didn't even need to try hard to look for it. There were already some congratulatory messages for Qing delegates from several professors on his desk. At that moment, I met Iljime's eyes. Iljime smiled and grabbed the documents. All right, shall we borrow these? I love the way you think. We have to take them back before the sun goes up tomorrow. As soon as Iljime closed his pocket, the light went off from the lamp. The room went dark again, just like when we first got here. Wait, are we okay? Oh, I guess we're... Oh, that must have been just us making our escape. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. Okay, reviewing for the Iljime episode 11 has been unlocked, so we finished the episode. So I'm gonna call that one here, actually. Wow, what a ride. We got Juhi having our first, canon gay panic that isn't me for once. And it's made me so happy. And I hope she's having a nice time with Sayon because they're gonna be so cute together. And I hope they do get together on this route. This has been such a fun route. But thank you so much, whoever happens to be watching this. Like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out. Until next time, bye!